What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Universim's Chupacabra update, because I like this game. I like this game a lot. I actually think this game is pretty rad, and it's unfortunate that it's taken it so long to kind of develop and get to a playable state, because this is one of those games that was a really good idea and has really good presentation, and it's taken a long time to get to a presentable, game-playable state. But anyways, with Chupacabra, we're going to check it on out. This is the last update that I think they're doing before they release the second stage of the game, medieval times. So you'll go from prehistorical to medieval, I think, in the next patch is what the developers were kind of hinting at. And so let's start off. We've got new life. Let's do this thing. You may want to check your teeth for spinach. Nope, I don't eat greenery, so I'm never going to have that problem. Alright, so we don't need tutorials. We'll leave the tutorials alone. For right now, what I do want to do, though, is we'll pause the game. No, absolutely do not place my evolution tower right there. Alright, so let's have a look at our world. Let's have a look at our planet. Let's take a look around, because this game is mighty purty. So we've got what looks like, I don't know, it looks like a light bulb lake right there. What's that right there? That looks like it's got some kind of like bra strap lake. Over on this side, we've got like, I don't know, trypophobia lakes. And then over here, we've got what looks kind of like a fish or something, like a minnow. Okay, where do we want to be at? Well, we need to be near a water source. If we're not near a water source and a stone source, we're going to struggle a little bit. So to my reckoning, I think this looks really good right here. I think this is the spot where I want to be. And so we can rotate the camera around ever so slightly, and let's get this thing cracking in prehistory. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get our evolution tower. Where'd my evolution tower go? There we go. No, I do not want my evolution tower here. I want my evolution tower like... That looks good. Yep, let's put the evolution tower in right there. The evolution tower is the first building that you're going to need in order to get your city started. Oh my god. So I have to have an archive to save my game. Oh my god, this is like the third time I've tried to record this and I didn't see that the last time that I played. Oh my god. I scrapped the episode because it didn't save and I wanted to keep playing and I didn't want to restart, and so there you go. Apparently we have to build a building in-game in order to save the game. Fantastic. Awesome. I feel like an idiot, but you know what? We're going to press forward. So we get two researches for right now. We get basic research and we get advanced research. Advanced research goes in the little bubble in the bottom left corner, and then basic research goes in right here. And the way to tell them apart is that the basic researches are blue. That's pretty much it. We've got clothing. So clothing will put their health up by 10%. It gives them accessories. We can go with primitive tools, which allow us to build a little bit better and get an engineer's hut. Or we can go with primitive waterworks. I think we have time to do clothing, so that's what we're going to do. And then we can also pick, I think, a secondary research if we want to. So, yeah, there we go. We can take the camel thing, or we can take power naps. Let's go with the camel thing. It makes us need less water, and needing less water is fantastic. So we're researching clothing right now. As you can tell, our little nuggets are running around. And actually, this game is sort of interesting because it plays pretty much by itself. Like, you are a god, and you can use your guiding hand to kind of help them out. But in general, people just do what they do in this game. They just do what they do. And so they're going to start building huts for themselves to live in. In this game, you don't really have to worry about building things as they go along. The next thing we're going to go with is waterworks, because we're going to need wells. We're going to need something to give our little guy, I almost call them Sims. Our little nuggets are going to need water. And if they don't have water, they're going to die horribly. But yeah, you don't have to worry about housing or anything in this game. They tend to just kind of do it on their own. That stone hut looks nicer than my house. So we'll see what happens here. But that stone hut looks way more awesome than my house. If they pop on in here with like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, I'm going to be deeply upset. Because, frankly, why do cavemen get things that I don't get? It's so unfair. It's so deeply and incredibly traumatic and unfair. So there it is. We're done with our primitive waterworks. My suggestion would then be that we pause the game on up again. We go in for another research. I think... Ooh, what is that right there? Extra water force. So refill rate goes up faster. Elbow grease makes them a little stronger. Power naps makes them sleep faster. Let's go with the engineer's hut next. That's pretty much all we can research anyway, so... It's the last one of our special ones. It's the last one of our little special bits. So the nuggets are over here building a house. I don't know. I only got all the parts in, so it should get built pretty soon. We've got forests. We've got rocks. This is actually a really, really good position. I like where we're at right now. I really sincerely do. All right then, ladies and gentlemen. What are you doing over here? Let's speed the game up ever so slightly. We deserve it. So the game's going to get sped up. Hopefully they're mining some stone right there. I'll probably make a warehouse or something like that that we can store it inside of. We've got a dahi who appears to be just wearing a leaf. It's the hottest fashion. If you can't cover your dong with a leaf, apparently you've been left behind in the dust in this great cultural exchange. It is 10 o'clock at night. They are building a house. Come on. So the search for primitive tools is concluded without too much hassle. Very few fingers were lost. Good, because losing fingers, I don't know. I'd prefer not to do it. I don't like it when I know if I lose a finger, that's deeply upsetting to me. We could do agriculture or we can do fishing. I'm going to start with agriculture. It's going to take us 5 hours to get agriculture done, so we'll start with agriculture. Let's go ahead and kick the game back on, and we'll see what we can accomplish here. The first house is going on up. Scaffolds to the skies, brothers. The next thing we're going to need to build is going to be, we need a reservoir. But the first thing we need is a water pump. So I'm going to put the water pump down over here. There we go. And then the second thing that I'm going to build is a well, so that we got a place to store said water. Reservoir is not what I'm looking for. Where's the well at? There it is. So we've got our well right here. I'm going to go ahead and put that, oh, I don't know. Something like, why doesn't it like the placement right here? Why doesn't it like the placement? Placement? I wonder why it doesn't like this placement down here. Maybe that circle is important to someone. No. Let's put it in right here. There we go, our first little well so that people have a water supply. And then the other thing that we might want to do is because if the water supply, for whatever reason, magically gets shut off, the well's going to run out of water pretty rapidly. And so it might be a smart idea to make a reservoir, but we'll make the engineer's hut first. What the engineer does is the engineer... See, I got to bring engineers into this, man. I got a salty spot with engineers. Geologists, we're dreamers, man. We're dreamers. We like to think of all the cool stuff and all the things that could happen if we try really hard and we believe, and deep down we love passionately enough. And then engineers are like the HR department of science. They show up like Toby, and they tell you all the reasons why you can't do that based on things like logic and physics. You see what I mean? And so, you know, we need somebody to fix our buildings, so we're inviting engineers along. But hopefully they don't do too much to drag us down back towards the Earth. Hopefully the pull of their logistical gravity is not too heavy for our dreams, because if it ends up being too much, man, if it ends up being too much, they might have to go. We'll put in a building over here. I might flip this around ever so slightly so that we can face our city a little bit better. We've got trees way off to the side, but those aren't going to matter for right now. As soon as agriculture's done, we're going to try and get up in there. We're going to make ourselves a farm to try and get some more food, because as of right now, we've only got like 30 food. Can I kill the turtle? Like, what happens if I, like, can we tell them to murder the turtle? There we go. Our well's done. And so what you will notice is these little pips right here, they will start to fill up. And so each pip represents a single one of your nuggets. You know, in case you're worried about the hydration of your nuggets. I, as a man, am frequently terrified about the well-being of my nuggets. And so, you know, it's something to think about. God, we have so much rock over here. That's the best. That is just gorgeous. And what we'll do is we'll put in another well, like over on this side right here, so that as our city starts to spread out, because we don't really control anything other than the support buildings. That's the big part of this, is that we don't control anything other than, like, you know, the engineering buildings and stuff like that. These guys will actually themselves build all the little houses and whatnot. So this game tends to become susceptible to sprawl. And that's a cool thing, because you can watch your little culture spread. As far as what the game's planning on doing later on in the future, they're planning on making it go all the way up into spacefaring ages, and you'll be able to fly around kind of spore style and start colonies on other planets. I mean, the breadth of what they're trying to do with this game is fairly massive. And so it'll be interesting to see if they can actually reach up and grab that kind of awesomeness. We need to assign an engineer. We probably want somebody who's strong. So we're going to make it Shamba. Shamba's got 10 in strength. The more strength you have, I think the faster you handle physical tasks. Let me go ahead and pause the game up because we've got a new research ready to go. I am going to go with fishing. We'll go gone fishing. It's a good supply of food. It's a good way to take care of business. The next thing we're going to do is in our production area. No. In our, where's our farming building at? There it is. So we want to farm. My suggestion would be that maybe, just maybe, the farm goes out right there. So there it is. We've got ourselves a farm. They should jump on that pretty shortly. We don't have any new nuggets just yet. As you can see, it looked like she got a little bit thirsty, so she went over and she drank out of the well. As people get thirsty, they will go on and do that. It looks like they're also in here inside the tent, banging it on up. That's a solid marble building right there. And they're managing to shake that thing on up. That's some thrust power right there. That's some back muscle. That's somebody that cares about putting in the effort. Good for you. Good for you, adoring couple. On this side, we've got a deer who's apparently underlit. The aftermarket economy for deer is absolutely through the roof right now. And so we catch these deer, we fix them all up with a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We throw some LEDs on their booty holes, and then we resell them. We resell them on Caveman Craigslist. Yep, Cave List. So as it rolls right now, they're trying to finish off our farm, and so Chuha and Shamba just formed a family. Good. And so when they make a family, what they'll do is they'll auto-build new huts. They'll just keep on auto-building new huts. It's a good thing. It helps us out here. And so what we may want to do is, as far as reservoirs are concerned, reservoirs have excess water, so if that comes to a screeching halt, we can stay afloat for a limited amount of time, just based off of our water supply. Yeah, I'm thinking that's some kind of special building right there, that little circle. I don't know what it's going to affect, but we'll put in our reservoir right there just so they have it. This should be done very shortly, and in fact, they are hammering away at it, and it looks like they've got a little bit of time invested. Progress, they're going to have to put 600 progress into it. They got a couple of people banging away, so it'll take a while. We're also going to make a fishery pretty soon to make sure that that's all ready to go. They are building a hut on this side. They've got all the stuff right there, and so that's looking pretty good. Shamba's doing his thing. What the engineers do, in case you didn't know, they repair your buildings. So your buildings get like a natural wear and tear over time. The engineers go around and they kind of offset that. They make it so they can hammer away on things and make them look good. Make them look all sexy. One of the big things that always jumps out at me with this game is just the presentation, man. This game is just cool to look at. I love looking at this game and just watching it. I can't wait till there's actually enough content like in the game to play like long term and have like 40-hour campaigns and whatnot. Because frankly, like, I really do think this game is lined up to be a fantastic civilization builder. It's just that like the development has hit some significant snags from point to point. And it just keeps getting hung up, but I like it. I really do. It'd be a shame if this game ever didn't manage to, like, hit the goals it was trying to get to. It really sincerely would be, because it's a great idea for a game. Next, we've got recreation, so our little guys can start some new buildings and some new businesses. We can also get a cooking area. I'm going to go for cooking next, because food seems important to me. I like food. I like to assume that my cavemen also like food, so let's mash that out. Chuhi has reached adulthood. Very few fingers were lost during the search for fishing, which is great. Now that we've got somebody else on adulthood, that means we can start producing other things too, like fishermen's huts. I would say a fisherman's hut would look great. Is that going to work? Yeah, put one in right there then. Put one in right there. The farm is able to stand up on its own now. So let's assign a nugget over here. Who's got good strength? Chuhi, you are now a farmer. Have fun, farm it on up. Farm it on up. And so it looks like we can do herbs and we can do raw food storage. This place more than likely is using some water. We can see our water throughput right here. We've got 30 water coming in and 4 water going out. As we get more houses and more huts and more buildings and more stuff like that, we're going to have to expand this out and we're going to have to get more water pumps. But for right now, not really that big of a deal. Not really something we have to be stressed about. The game does save now on the plus side. People have been complaining for a long time about the fact that the game doesn't save, and I indeed would be counted among that number. I like it when games save. I don't get to play games much. I usually get about 20 minutes to play a game. I work a lot. And so I get 20 minutes to play a game, and if a game doesn't save, it's one of those things where I'm like, all right, well, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And it's definitely a damper for me, so I'm glad that the game saves now. And in fact, the game saves through the usage of this building over here called the Archive, which I think is right here. And once you build this, you're able to save your game. It's kind of a cool little integrated feature. I like it. I think that's kind of an interesting way to approach saving your game. You actually have to have like a building that goes in. It's kind of like having a limited amount of ink ribbons and whatnot when you used to play like Resident Evil and stuff like that. I'll put it right here. Yeah, that looks good enough. So we've got our archive going up. We've welcomed Chabos to the new world. And so there should be like a little baby nugget running around over here somewhere, I think. Yeah, they've got a child right there. And so every time you get a new family unit, they're going to build a new hut. As of right now, we've only got 2 huts set up, but we'll have more later on. They're going to be building a little farm space down here on this side. Chuhi is doing nothing. Why are you doing nothing, Chuhi? Why are you doing nothing? Shouldn't you have a job? Oh, I got to choose a crop. God. Bloody diarrhea fruit sounds like the kind of thing that might not work out very well. I don't feel good about that. We're in the grassland biome right now. So we get 12 fruit. Growth speed. You know what? Bloody diarrhea fruit it is. Bloody diarrhea fruit it is. Just have a good time making us some bloody diarrhea fruit, I guess. Bloody diarrhea fruit. I think that they really need to work on I think they need to work on their branding there. Like, I would call it something like BD Fresh, BD Cool. Like, you got to do something to spruce that up, man. You can't put that on a package and sell it at Rayleigh's. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work, man. You see a bloody diarrhea fruit in the grocery aisle at the Smart and Final, and nah, I'm going to pass on that one. I'm going to pass on that one real quick. I can tell you that for certain. For absolutely certain, no thank you. We got some research that's just sitting around for right now. Let's go ahead and pause the game on up, and we'll pick some new research. We've got round cogs, so pump output power will get better right there. We've got cooking utensils. We've got fire, which will lower our hunger needs. I think that's pretty good in case we hit a famine. And then the other thing that I would look at is recreation so that we can have businesses. And that's pretty much all we can research right now anyways. So it's not that massive of a deal. Cooking has been finished without too much hassle. Very few fingers were lost. And if they were lost, I really hope that they didn't go into the pot. That would be absolutely revolting. I don't know. You know, you always hear the story about Wendy's with the finger in the chili. I don't even know if that happened. But, like, it's one of those urban legends that just gets around, you know. It gets around. Get around, round, ooh. Super gross. That's super nasty, too. Our temperature's dropping off a little bit. I don't know how much food we're going to be able to produce. It looks like right there we've produced 2 foods. No, don't cancel it. What does that mean right there? Like, does it have to get planted? Like, what happens when that's going on in? Because it looks like there's different phases. So you've got, like, is planted, is growing. How much food the crop at the end of its growth cycle. Oh, okay. Chabo says, I thought being an adult was fun. Boy, was I wrong. Well, I mean, it has its benefits. I mean, it's not the absolute worst thing that can happen to you. I mean, like right there, being an adult does come with some perks. That's one of them right there. I mean, being a functional part of society and having people take you seriously is pretty rad, too. I always hated how people, when I was a kid, didn't take me seriously. Like, they'd be like, yeah, well, you're like 16. What do you know about anything? At least that's how my family was. My family was definitely one of those families where they were like, you're not an adult. You don't get to have an opinion. And so, like, being an adult is awesome because nobody can tell me I'm wrong anymore. Like, they can tell me, but I don't have to listen, you know? Or if you're around people you don't like when you're an adult, you can just leave. You can't do that when you're a kid. Like, you're stuck until you're like 18 or whatever, or until social services comes and gets you. But that's what I mean, though, is like, being an adult comes with its perks, but yeah, it's mostly just working and being tired. I'll be honest with you. If you're under 18 right now, cherish the moment. Cherish the moment because once you turn 18, it's just an endless cavalcade of sleeping and working. That's pretty much it. Punctuated by very brief vacations if you're lucky enough to make enough money to go on vacations, which I don't think I went on a vacation until I was like 29. Like, I just worked all the time because I didn't make enough money to go on a vacation. So it looks like I'm really hoping we can get a harvest in before winter gets here. I am actively concerned about winter wiping out this crop over here. Our fishing pier is complete, which means we can put somebody on fishy duty too. Who's good at strengthenating? So laborer, you are now a fisherman, Chabos. Have fun. That's a pretty dope job. Everybody knows that fishing is just an excuse to get drunk at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's the way that I treat fishing. Fishing is 100%. That's the point of fishing, is to be allowed to get drunk during times and hours that you're not normally allowed to get tired. Like, you're not normally allowed to get drunk during those hours. That's the best part about it. Nuggets report that the archive is fully operational, and so there it is right there. I think I have to assign a nugget to this. I don't know what goes into that sort of thing, but we'll have Adahi be the... Actually, we'll have somebody that's really weak. Chuha doesn't have good strength, and so we'll create a save. The save will be called Fart. As it has been since I was a child, so shall it be now. We shall call it Fart. And then we can actually, I think, deactivate that building every now and again because we've already got our save, so it's not that big of a deal. I like that feature. I missed it on my first playthrough because I didn't see that in the tutorial. And, you know, it cost us an episode here at the Nerd Castle. We've got traditional healing. That's what we want next. The other options are education and dew forecasting and ancient burial. But no, trust me when I say that we really want to have a witch doctor. If we don't have a witch doctor, it's going to cause problems for us. So we need to get on that, like, right this second. 13 degrees Celsius. It's chilly, but hopefully we'll get that in. What's the third colored bar right there? That looks like we're going to get a max level harvest right there. Indicates the time before it's ready to go and shows you how much it provides at the end of the growth cycle. That's pretty badass. And so that's food in our storage right now. I would actually really like to grow some herbs if we can. So Yumha has grown up. That's a good spot to be in. How much food is in our storage right here? They're banging right now, so they're just doing their thing. Is that house like... What's up with that little symbol right there? What does that symbol mean? I don't know what that symbol means right there. Suppose we'll have to figure it out. How much fish have we stored up? So we got somebody fishing right now. It'll get too cold in just a minute. So he's fishing. The fish population's looking pretty good. Uhi has finally graced us with their presence, so they've been born. And so, yeah, there it is right there. He's fishing. He's doing his thing. It's 4 degrees Celsius, though, so we may lose control of the lake because it freezes over once you get too far into the season. And so once it's officially winter, we'll have some problems. But we did manage to get one harvest off right there. The next thing that I would suggest building is some kind of storage area, if we can have it. Like, we've got an eatery right here, so they are the watering holes of the age. They go there to eat, drink, and be merry. They get a happiness boost, and they stay for longer. And so tasty beverages make people happy at that place. So that's pretty cool. I think we can also make a local business. And so Nuggets walk around with a smile plastered on their face. So buildings are sure to bring joy to everyone. So we've got like a little local business right here. That's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and drop that on in. I think we can put it like... right there. We don't really have that much to do anyways because it's the end of the year, so is what it is. Traditional healing is on its way up. I wanted to see if we had a storage building too. So when do we get warehouses? So we have to get storage areas before we can have warehouses. They are not big fans of clutter. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that's the truth. They should be over here. We got somebody that doesn't have a house, maybe? I'm not sure what's going on right there. Is that Chuha? That's Chuha, so she's supposed to be the archivist. I guess I'll turn the building back on. It looks like, I guess that means she has nothing to do during the day. I was hoping that if I disabled the building, she would just go back to being a default laborer, but we'll leave her there. That's fine. She can be an archivist. We'll have plenty of time to deal with that. I love that. Watch this right here. Watch this. This is pretty sweet. I love that right there. That's such a cool little feature that they didn't have to add to the game, and it's very much got kind of like a Double Fine or like a lion head feel to it. That's what it reminds me of as developers, that they have weird little Easter eggs like that. Like you can get to low altitude and crash into a mountain and it cracks the screen for a second. Just little things like that. I find those to be absolutely awesome. I love them. Absolutely love them. We got no farmer present over here, but we do have raw food storage. I don't know how we turn that into better food. I assume at some point we will get the ability to turn that into real food. I don't know exactly how that's going to go on. So we've got a hair salon over there. Is that a parrot, a porcupine? Nope. A peacock? Well, apparently we've got a hair salon now. That's pretty cool. Which side's the back side and which side's the front side, though? That place seems to be struggling with its designation. I'm not trying to be a hater or anything, but I don't know. Place is empty right now. We've got Uhi going on out. Water is looking okay. It's not the best water situation I've ever been in, but this is going to be the time where I'm going to excuse myself, and I will see you all in the next episode of Universim. I like this game a lot. I can't wait to see how it develops as you get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you start to get into like the Bronze Age and the Iron Age, and you go up into the Modern Age and stuff like that. I really do. I am excited to see where this game is going. It's just taken so long to get there, you know what I mean? I will see you all later. If you want to get the game for yourself, you can get it down below in the description. Aside from that... if you wanted to support me, you can go to the Patreon. You can check that out. If you wanted to see me live, you can see me on Twitch TV/SplatterCatGaming every single day at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Other than that, I will see you later. Hi-do. Bye-bye.